I like that. And so here in the studio, you brought a little king cake for us to taste. And so he, for my listeners out there, he brought us a Joe Gambino's Bakery, a traditional king cake.
This is actually a product that Gambino's is doing exclusively for us. This is something new that you can only get at King Cake Hub. This is called Epiphany. And we worked out with Gambino's to do a different product. It's a different dough for them. It's a traditional brioche dough, kind of their Kringle cake that they did over the holiday season. So it's not like their Gambino's traditional king cake, but it's a brioche dough, and the icing is a cream cheese buttercream icing.
Ooh, and so it's traditional, not traditional.
Not traditional, right. It's not filled. And then there are carnival sprinkles on top rather than your traditional sanded sugars. So
I kind of like the sprinkles better. I know that's silly. Like if I have a choice between a donut with the little sugars or a donut with the sprinkles, I'm always going for the sprinkle donut. I just find it's a little less messy.
Right. And the sprinkles give a good little crunch. Otherwise, you are getting sugar all over the place. This is a little bit easier to do. But I'm really pleased with how this turned out. We're getting some really great response on this. I'm very, very proud to be able to debut it. And customers who are coming in and getting it, and I go, have you had this before? Like, yeah, this is our third one already. Like, oh, cool.
And so for our listeners out there, I just kind of cut into it, and it's like soft. It's got a nice kind of pale yellow color. You can see the cinnamon. It's got the squishiness, and y'all are going to laugh, but of the school cafeteria roll. Does that, you know what I mean? That like soft, squishy, delicious school. I was the girl that went back for the extra rolls at the end of lunch service. But it's like really nice and soft. I'm gonna take a little taste of it. So it may get quiet for just a second.
I'll sing a little bit.
Yeah, sing a ditty for us.
Eating, yes. King cake time in the city. Or something like that.
It's delicious. And my intent was to leave it for the staff here. I may have to take a hunk home wrapped in a napkin. And, we have this beautiful, soft, squishy king cake that has a buttercream icing. And we bring it home, but maybe we can't eat the whole king cake. What are we supposed to do to keep it nice and delicious?
It's tough. And this one will stay fresh for a few days, and then 10 seconds in a microwave on any king cake that's been around for a couple of days just gives it, restores its glory. We got it a couple of days ago. I was picking up from Gambino's. We were picking up our stock, and I noticed that the boxes were still warm. And it was just like, oh man, okay. And I tweeted out, hey, we've got some warm king cakes from Gambino's, and people were like, okay, we gotta get that.
And we brought one totally home. Different to eat it like all warm right out of the oven?
Yeah, when you're in it fresh from the bakery, and we had that same experience when we were doing our own way back from La Dolce Nola, when they were coming out of the oven and just freshly glazed and cooling on the rack. And it's like, oh man, this is great.
Well, I can vouch. This is a delicious king cake.
Thank you.
This is absolutely delicious. And I would say if you can't eat it all over a couple of days, I like to just pop it in the freezer. I know that sounds silly, but because sometimes, I just want a piece of king cake.
Yeah.
And, technically we're not supposed to be eating it after Mardi Gras, but...
We have very strict rules on that. We're very religious in that regard. Of no king cake before January 6th. I think we all saw a couple of days ago what happens when you eat king cake.
It's bad juju.
Yeah.
You can't do it.
I said, look, I tried to warn y'all, don't eat king cake before January 6th. Otherwise, that's right.
Well, so just this week I had some clients from out of town, and I had bought a king cake, and let's just say it got a little dry. And so I took that king cake and I actually chopped it up and mixed it into my bread pudding.
Ooh.
And I got to use a little bit less sugar in the bread pudding because all the icing from the king cake came through. In typical New Orleans style, when you mix the purple, green, and gold sugars into it, pretty much just turns brown anyway. So it's like a toasty brown little bread pudding. And so, don't waste your king cake. Find another way to keep it alive, right?
We used to make a king cake gelato, and I loved it. And that's not having pizza Nola anymore and not being able to make gelato. I do miss having the king cake gelato, and this would have been really good in the gelato too.
Well, so I have to tell our listeners out there, Will stepped up to the plate because I called him because we were all so upset about this whole Saints thing. And I was like, Will, you want in. So for our listeners out there, we are doing an event at Dat Dog on Super Bowl Sunday from 11 to 3. That is the anti-Super Bowl party that you are all allowed to show up in your Who Dat Sunday best and celebrate as we watch the Saints winning the Super Bowl in protest of the fact that they are unfortunately not there. But Will, you're bringing some king cakes and we can buy by the slice?
Yes. I'll have some various varieties, including Epiphany, and with slices available. Yeah, I'm excited that you're doing this because the other day I was putting away my glorious Saints outfit that I was wearing the last couple of Sundays, like the official playoff Saints. And I was like, oh, I'm not going to be able to wear this again. So thank you for the opportunity then to be able to wear the official Saints playoff outfit. I'm looking forward to that.
And so Saints Who Dat, maybe a Who Dat king cake?
Yes, we'll have Heido has done some black and gold king cakes, as has Gambino's and Bywater, and then we'll have the Epiphany as well. And we also have from Canada's, they do a Who Dat king cake, and that has the gooey butter inside, it has a little toy football, it has Bavarian cream and some cinnamon, and it's a super good king cake. Yeah, we were moving a lot of that over the weekend. We were hoping to have another couple of weekends in which to do it, but still, you can show your support for the Saints by getting the Who Dat king cake. That's one of the ones that we'll have on the shelves, every day throughout Carnival. A very, very good king cake.
And so if people come out to Dat Dog and they taste these king cakes and they buy it by the slice so they can have every kind all in one day and have a nice, good sugar high for the rest of the evening, tell everybody, where y'all are located and how they can find you, because that's important.
Yes.
Because they're going to want to go and get more king cake.
Absolutely. We are open every day from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m., and we are located in the Porte Cochere in the driveway of the the Mystere Mansion, home of the Mortuary Haunted House. That is at 4800 Canal Street. And we were having a debate whether that is the head of Canal Street or the foot of Canal Street. And that's actually, I had learned.
I would say the head, right?
That's
but
what I
technically
thought.
It's the foot because you're leaving away from the city.
It's the foot of Canal Street. And I always thought the foot of Canal Street was, at the river. But I was informed by Professor Colin Aval that I was incorrect. So anyway, it's close to City Park. Plenty of parking available. We have a lot right behind the mansion. Lots of street parking available. Open every day, and we have give or take 34 different varieties of king cake from several different bakeries. And there may even be a couple more that we're bringing on. Stay tuned to our website at kingcakehub.com. where you can pre-order your favorites to make sure that we have it available for you. And we have a lot more information. We have carnival information. We have the story of how King Cake Hub came to be. We have an annotated parade schedule. We have information on how my family and I celebrate the carnival season, and just it gets kind of wacky.
And I highly encourage you follow him on Instagram and Facebook.
Yes, the King Cake Hub or at Pizza Nola. Both of those accounts we update.
Well, so I have to ask, for me, sending a king cake is something that I like to do. And I know it's tough to ship a king cake. People don't want to ship. A lot of bakeries don't want to ship.
Right.
And a lot of times I end up just going to the grocery store, buying a grocery king cake because I don't want to drive somewhere to go get it. For people, where's the nearest shipping? So if they want to go and get 3 king cakes and ship it to their best friend in New York, because you save money when you ship it yourself.
Yeah.
Where can what's close by?
For us, we can ship some ourselves. We can ship from Gambino's or the Epiphany Cake and Kaluta's. We can ship ourselves. Some of the bakeries can do it from their website, but you can also go to. I just realized this actually that Office Depot can ship them. The one on Carrollton and Bienville in the Mid-City Market. We've been doing some shipping with them. And then there's also the mailing houses like Royal Mail on Metairie Road and the one on Robert E. Lee. But the post office is really your cheapest bet.
Yes.
Because Priority
Flat
Mail,
rate.
they have the flat rate box. You can just put the king cake in there. And it generally gets there in a couple of days, and it's good to go. And it's a lot cheaper than using FedEx or UPS. From our standpoint, we generally use FedEx 2-day or FedEx Ground just to ensure the freshness, and because we're busy selling king cakes, it's kind of hard to break away and go into shipping mode. But the post office, from our standpoint, the one on Jeff Davis is the closest one. You can get several king cakes from us and then ship them. Some of the ones from the bakeries are very fragile. High-dough has a lot of sugar on top, so I think by the time it gets to its destination, then it might not be in its absolute
I'm not
perfect
shipping
spot.
the Chantilly cream king
right,
cake.
right. There are a few that are a little perishable, but the ones like Gambino's that comes shrink-wrapped, Kaluda's comes shrink-wrapped and everything, it's a lot easier. And it's also easy if you're traveling to bring it on an airplane, too. TSA knows at this point there are going to be a lot of king cakes that are going to be coming through the airport.
Yeah, they may want to take a little bite sample and, hey, give those guys a little bite. They deserve
They
it.
do
But
deserve it.
and I laugh because I've gotten on a plane with shrimp. I've gotten on but you know what? I don't leave during carnival season.
Right.
So I've never actually had to get on a plane with a king cake.
It always floors me, the people that are traveling. It's like, oh, that's Mardi Gras, we're leaving, we're getting as far away from here as possible. It's like, no, you can't do that.
Well, do you have a costume?
I don't. And every year we say we're not going to wait until Lundi Gras to figure out what we're going to do. And every year we wait until Lundi Gras. And I say, okay, this year is not going to be the year where, we will have this set, and we have no clue what we're going to do.
Well, it's going to be a great carnival season, and we will all be on a sugar high for the next few weeks.
I will say that I am down 2 pounds so far on the king cake diet. This is true.
Oh my gosh, please call my trainer. Barry, are you listening? The king cake diet. This is the way to go.
The fitness plan of fitness whole king cake in my mouth. 2 weeks into carnival, and I'm down a couple of pounds.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, for my listeners out there, you've been listening to WRBH Radio 88.3 FM, New Orleans by Mouth. Here in the studio, we had Will Samuels with King Cake Hub. Thank you for joining us.
You're
Go
welcome.
check them out. You can get some king cakes at the foot of Canal Street, and also out at Dat Dog for the Saints anti-Super Bowl party. So until next time, ciao.